Hey, the message of Canada's trucker protest from the Wall Street Journal. The lesson for the COVID-19 police is that when you've lost even the Canadians, arguably the most law-abiding people on the planet, you've lost the political plot. And guess what's happening? So the truckers in Canada were protesting mandates. They're dropping them coast to coast now. They're dropping mandates, vaccine passports, mask regulations. Here's Gavin Newsom here in California. And I'll tell you the real reason why I think they're doing this in a second. California's case rate has decreased by 65% since our Omicron peak. Our hospitalizations have stabilized across the state. Our statewide indoor mask requirement will expire on February 15th. Unvaccinated people will still need to wear masks indoors. That which has got no science behind it. What is the science behind that? Well, again, we know that vaccinated people can shed the virus when they're infected, just like unvaccinated people can shed the virus when they're infected. So why only infected unvaccinated people? Why not infected vaccinated people? So this is my larger theme is they're pretending that the science has changed. They're pretending that things have changed. Things have not changed. We've been telling you since last summer that you and everybody you know is likely to get COVID. We've been telling you that since last summer. They're now just telling you that now. And they're pretending like everything changed.
I'm shocked, by the way, the amount of things that I saw directly from your show that are now they're saying.
Now they're
it's
saying.
Really something, man.
Yes. I mean, how we were months and months ahead of the establishment news. Yes, that is really something. So he says, get vaccinated, get boosted. Okay. So here's the New York Times. Several Democratic governors have announced plans to roll back mask mandates for schools and indoor public spaces, citing a drop in coronavirus infections and highlighting how officials are preparing to live permanently with the virus. So let's go. There's a little bit more. Governor Kathy Hochul will drop New York's stringent indoor mask mandate on Wednesday, ending a requirement that businesses ask customers for proof of full vaccination or require mask wearing at all times.
Oh. She going to bring the health workers back?
Yeah, no kidding,
She going
right?
to bring back those 72,000 healthcare workers she fired? I wonder why. Let's see. And marking a turning point in the state's coronavirus response, according to 3 people briefed on her decision. So they know that, I'm just letting you know, there was some 65% of the country got double vaxxed. A half of those people got their booster. How many people do you think are going to get the 4th shot? Probably half of those. So now we're down to like 10% of the people. So that's what they know they can't keep doing that. So that's my theory. They know that it's over now because you can't keep telling people to get a shot every 3 or 4 months. They're not going to do it.
Well, I know people who've had 3 shots and had COVID twice.
Yeah, I know.
And so, like, they're not like on, they're like, this is crazy. They're go along with the thing people. They're not,
Yeah,
they weren't skeptical. They're just like, wait a minute, I've had this in my body 5 times now.
Yeah. So let's go to the next slide. Shortly after the New Jersey announcement on Monday, the Democratic leaders in California, Connecticut, Delaware, and Oregon separately said they would also end some mask mandates. So these are all blue states, right? California, Connecticut, Delaware, Oregon. Connecticut will permit students and staff members to stop wearing masks in school by no later than February 28th. Delaware will end mask mandates in schools by March 31st. Oregon and California announced the end to mask mandates at indoor public spaces. Idaho, Louisiana, and Mississippi recommend indoor mask wearing, and Republican-led states like Texas and Florida have banned mandates. Whether to mandate mask wearing in schools is up to local officials in most states. The mask rollbacks announced on Monday appear to undercut messaging coming from federal officials. So now all these governors are going against the CDC. I would get kicked off of YouTube if I said something against the CDC recommendations. But the governors can run states against CDC recommendations. And by the way, just so you know, just in, Alberta is scrapping their vaccine passport programs at midnight tonight, said the Premier Jason Kenney. So in Canada, that's a whole province. They're getting rid of their vaccine passports. Isn't that something? There he is. The time has come to lift COVID-19. That's the premier of Alberta. Starting tonight, we will carefully lift health restrictions and begin living safely with the virus. Here's from the National Post in Canada. It says, first reading, everybody except Trudeau is abandoning COVID restrictions. And do we need a vaccine for Omicron? So this is the question. They're developing a new vaccine for Omicron. And do you need a vaccine for Omicron?
Well, the old one, I guess, doesn't help against Omicron. So,
well, that's what they're saying. Well, they're saying that's why everybody's going to get Omicron, because the vaccine doesn't stop you from contracting Omicron. And Omicron is way more contagious than Delta, so everybody's going to get it, even if you're vaccinated, likely. But I have to say, or YouTube will take my channel down, that the vaccine does reduce you from contracting it, even though Fauci now says that everyone is likely to contract it anyway. So I have to give you all that so I don't get my channel taken down, just so you know. Go ahead.
You know what's funny, when I talk to people about, like, a lot of people that, especially that are pro-mandate, they're not even watching Fauci. They're not even watching the people that you're supposed to watch to tell you how to feel about it. This got turned into a flag salute where you prove your loyalty by getting boosted. Like, or you might be a January 6th if you didn't just do the thing. What do you got to read? I'm not a doctor. You're not. Just do the thing so I know whose side you're on. That's what it is for a lot of people. It's really, like, creepy to take that and make it another goddamn flag salute.
And I hope I have this. Do I not have? Here's what I really think happened. Here's what I think also is happening. There's Joe Biden's approval ratings. Do you see this shit that's happening? Disapprove is through the roof. Approval is going under the ground. And so what does the CDC say? Well, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention experts are developing guidance to help states ease COVID-19 rules for mask wearing, even as U.S. health officials said it's still premature to dispense of the measures, as some governors are doing. So they're saying it's premature to do this. The governors are doing it anyway, and apparently you can do it. The CDC studies advice for easing mask rules as states drop them. Amid encouraging signs, Walensky, that's the head of the CDC, says we're not there yet. So the CDC is going, what's that?
Just England is there.
Just England is there. Just half of Canada is there. The Netherlands, Denmark, just all those other places are there. But now we're not there. So the governors that I just showed you, they're all going against the CDC. And let me go back to this. Do we need an Omicron vaccine? Well, guess what? The answer just may surprise you.
Pfizer and Moderna initiated clinical trials for an Omicron-based vaccine. And we understand that these trials are actually started and going on now. Now, I really hope that this is not necessary, because the whole point about this Omicron wave, why it's such a good thing, is it's giving us huge amounts of natural immunity. And I'm expecting the natural immunity to have a fair degree of longevity, where we know that the vaccine immunity so far has been waning. So let's hope that no new vaccines are required. That would really concern me if that turns out to be the case, that new vaccines are required. But I'm pretty confident that we're going to get natural immunity, and we can't keep vaccinating ourselves every few months. We've got natural immunity to every other type of pathogen, apart from those we vaccinate for. So I really don't see why this should be any different.
But we just made all this new batch of vaccine. What are we going to do? Give it away for free to poor countries?
So there you have it. Dr. John Campbell says that because everyone's going to get Omicron, or likely most people are going to get Omicron, then that will have natural immunity. And he's saying that the vaccine immunity wanes. Now everybody's going to get Omicron. We're going to have natural immunity. And you heard what he just said, exactly what I thought. It's like they know they can't keep doing this. And so that's what I think is happening. I'm going to do another whole segment on this. Here's the doctor from CNN saying that the science has changed. That's why she's changing her stance on mandates. But people are calling her out on it. She says, let's get to the next section. So we did this section. You understand it. And now I'm going to move on to people who are saying the science has changed when it really hasn't. We're doing live stand-up comedy in Los Angeles on February 12th, February 18th, February 20th, we're in Philadelphia. We just added a second show. And back on February 26th here in Los Angeles. It's our intimate 60-seat theater. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link. And then while you're there, you can also become a premium member, get access to all our stuff.